filter media, we are the best.
We are the experts, yes. And backwash velocity also important. I mean, you can see there is also a range of 20 to 50. Of course, this is usually we want to have a high filtration speed.
Yeah, let me come in the next to this. Exactly. But that's more or less the range that we want to have the backwash velocity.
And all of this is important to mention. We have our instruction for use.
Yeah, that will come in a minute. Now you take more and more the lead here. Huh? You complained before, you take too much the lead. So you adapted to me already quite well. One word to backwash velocity. You know, I'm coming from the pool industry, and for me, ladies and gentlemen, you from the water treatment, you are for me the heroes, and you still are, of course. But because of backwashing process, I have seen many installations. You know, we're filtering at 5 meters, backwashing at 10 meters, and where I disagree. Maybe we have now 153 participants. Maybe I lose half of it, but I will.
Let's see.
How I say it. This is wrong. This is wrong, and I will show you later on wrong. So about backwashing, we can talk a lot more. You know, because backwashing. This is your IFU. It's a very good document from Howard and you and Matthew. Very good document. Easy to read, but again, come back to us. Let us comment. You know, to start the cooperation, and then after 2-3 projects, you will be sure, and then you can do everything on your own. And we also will have some calculators. I will talk about backwashing a little bit more in the next slide. AFM. The filter media is a software, but you also need a hardware, and hardware is the filter. And as you all know, there are different hardwares. We have the horizontal filters with laterals or with nozzle plate. We have the vertical filters with laterals and with nozzle plate. Horizontal filters are not the best. Vertical filters are a better hardware than horizontal filters. Why? Because here you have equal flow, equal speed. In filtration, it will not change velocity, and also not in backwash. In the horizontal filters, you start slowly, then you get fast. And in the backwash, it's the opposite. You start fast, and then you get slow. They're perfect, these horizontal filters. I mean, for the same price, you get much more surface, and this is overcompensating the disadvantage. But just that we have mentioned it, you know, as a basic knowledge. Obviously, the very best is the vertical filter with nozzle plate, because with a nozzle plate, you're sure you have an equal flow. You have a very equal flow of water. Here in the laterals, you depend if you have a very good manufacturer. One of them is this guy here, the blue one, the Colplus, you know, where they have really, we have seen this in design classes where they have a very equal flow, but some of them are not good, you know, where you don't have an equal flow, where you just have all the water in the middle. Even worse, if you do it if you make an air wash, air scouring. Scouring?
Yeah, air scouring. Yeah.
You know, I was shocked to see in 2-3 installation where they had laterals, you know, it was even in horizontal filters where they did air scouring. I mean, air scouring is very important if you have sand. Why? Because you want to scrape off the biofilm from the sand grains. There you have to do it, and it works. Not 100%, maybe 90%, it works. And this is why you need air scouring, but you don't need this for AFM. If you do this air scouring, let's forget about AFM, let's talk about sand. If you have these filters and you make air scouring or these filters, you know, this air will not go over the filter, it will just stay in the middle. And there you explode the air up. And the only thing that you do, you mix up the filter bed, you mess up the filter bed. And if you don't have very, very high backwash velocity, you will not be able to reclassify the bed. So for today's session, if you take one thing with never do air scouring if you don't have a nozzle plate. Forbidden. It's not forbidden, but you damage your system. If you don't have a nozzle plate, don't do air scouring. That's number one. Number two, back to AFM. AFM, of course, works best, our software, in the best hardware in this filter, but it will also work brilliant in these filters, especially also in horizontal filters, especially in lateral configurations, because you don't need this air scouring. And the third point is the weaker the hardware, the bigger you will see the difference in the software.
Yeah, that's why AFM performs in all of these filters much better than in sand.
But especially here, you will see
So I think
huge differences.
we see this also in the case studies later. Huh?
Yeah.